Hey YouTube, what's going on? So today I am going to talk to you guys about the new 9-inch T8 Android head unit for the 5th gen 4Runner. So literally the only thing lacking in the 4Runner or the 5th gen 4Runner is a good head unit. The factory head unit is good, but I don't think that it's like up to standards with today's technology. I had a Scion, a 2011 Scion TC, and for me, plugging in my phone was starting to get old, just to listen to my music. You know, and then when I got the 4Runner, it was game changing because I was able to connect to the head unit wirelessly with Bluetooth and listen to my music like that. But now, like, you know, every car is coming with the Apple Carplay and Android Auto, and it's like, man, you know, I think the new 2020 4Runner, depending on when you're watching this, is gonna come out with the new, with an Apple CarPlay and Android Auto system, but we'll wait to see until then. So my plan right now is to just have the GoPro here on the dash, which I'm not a big fan of the quality, but that's, I think, the best way to do it. I have my mic connected to this camera here, and this camera is just pointed right on the head unit, so as I'm using it, you'll be able to see that as well. I'll just cut back and forth. I'm gonna just try to give you guys the best review that I can, answer all the questions that I had for these guys on Facebook. Mentioning that, I was special thanks to Savag on Facebook and Gillis for answering a million questions that I had before ordering this unit. For the installation, there's an article by a tool on trail4runner.com. All the links to all that stuff will be below. A link to the unit will be below. If you have any, you know, questions, like, feel free to ask me. Feel free to send a message to them. Check out the website. Check out the installation, and yeah. So before moving forward, I want to bring up a situation that I had. I have the OEM Audio Plus Reference 500 system in my car, so I've replaced all the speakers. I had an issue where it wouldn't connect, and I had to bypass the DSP and the amp. If you have an OEM Audio Plus Reference system, just skip to the end of the video, and I'll go over all of that at the end after the outro. So yeah, let's get started. The unit itself is from China. It's around $500 depending on what coupon codes or discount codes you get, but you're looking at spending like $500. The shipping's free, which is great, but it takes a couple weeks. But I mean, whatever, it doesn't matter. Just looking at the unit itself, the screen is sharp, the brightness is nice, but the only thing that I don't like, you know, looking at the specs, is that there's only 2 gigs of RAM and there's only 32 gigs of storage, and neither of them are upgradable, which to me kind of sucks, but you know, I'll live with it. You know, it's not as fast as a brand new iPhone, and it's not as slow as like one of those old Android tablets, but for your car, I think it's like, it's perfect. The unit is super like plug and play. You just take out the old radio, literally just plug in this one, and you're good to go. The only hard part really is just taking it out, changing the vents to this new system, and then just putting it back in. Yeah, it's pretty simple. Throughout the video, I'm going to be using the screen so you guys can see what it's like to use it, and I have a couple bullet points that I want to go over, and the first one that I wrote down is the speed of the device. So throughout the video, just, you know, check out the speed, get a feel for it as like I use it, and that would basically answer that question. One of my biggest questions was, how does it connect to the internet? It's an Android device, so I should be able to get apps. I should be able to, you know, play my music, do all this stuff. So how do you get connected to the internet? So there's 2 options. One is tethering to your phone, and one is the house Wi-Fi. You know, your phone is using a hotspot. So in this situation, you know, I'm at my house, but I'm going to show you the hotspot route just so you guys understand, and just so you guys know that it does work. So don't mind the focus of the second camera, I'm sorry, but here we go. I'm gonna turn on the hotspot here, right? Then now I'm gonna go into the settings, which I set up with the settings right there on the main screen. Network and internet, I'll turn the Wi-Fi on. And let's wait for it to find my phone. Patrick's iPhone. Let's just press it. Everything should be good to go. It says connected. And yeah, that's it. I'm connected to the internet. So now if I decide to just scroll through some stuff, like if I go on YouTube, which I'll get to in a moment, yeah, there you go. And it's talking about the camera that I'm using. So yeah, that's that. And then I'll just close a couple apps here just to get back to the main screen and go to the next topic. Before moving on to the other bullet points, I kind of wanted just to jump in here and mention a couple of things. So the screen brightness, I actually have it set to 80. So if I put it to 100, and you can see the difference, 0 to 100. I mean, even at 0, I can still see it. I'm in the shade, but there's a lot of like screen glare on the screen, whatever. But when it's at 100, yeah, that's bright. I have no issues seeing the words. I have no issues seeing anything when I'm driving. Yeah, it's pretty clear. Another thing that's kind of cool about this device is that I don't know how, but it connects to the car, which the old unit didn't even have, and I really like this function. It's that let's say when I open a door, I'll open this door, for example, like check out the screen. It shows that the door's open. Like, close the door, and then it goes away, you know? Another cool thing is when I adjust the AC, you can see this right here. You know, and then of course I adjust this one, and that switches, you know, it's pretty cool. I like it. I mean, the temperature doesn't change, but I mean, that's cool itself. And there's also settings to turn it off, but for me personally, I like it on, especially the door thing. If like I'm getting the door open signal on like the dash or whatever, I know exactly which door is open. And again, it's just keeping up with technology. Like all the new cars have it, so like why not just have it here, you know? Radio was a big part of my choice. Sometimes when I don't have my phone connected or something, I just want to listen to the radio. Radio's super easy. It actually comes standard right here on these apps. You just press it, and let's just go to sorry, that was loud. But yeah, the radio's good. You know, I'll change to this station here. Radio works, everything works. You just go here, hold it down, save a station. Now I got those two saved. I don't know why it saved it as party, but whatever. Now I can, there we go. So yeah, that's it. That's it for the radio. And then I'll just close out the radio so the music stops. You know, music to me is like the biggest deal. I use Spotify and Amazon Music for my music, so the first day I got the unit, I downloaded Spotify, I connected it to my house Wi-Fi and downloaded all the music. But you know, it does work off like the hotspot too, pretty smooth. I'll let it load up here, and yeah, you know, let's just press play. It's already sorry. I'll go to songs. See, I actually just added a song a little bit earlier, but yeah, let's just play like this, for example. And yeah, you have Spotify. You know, you can go here, you can search music. Let's go here, let's search whatever. I don't know, let's just look at the home page just to show that it's loading, you know. Press search, it'll bring up all the playlists, you know, the charts, the top 50 or whatever it is. And yeah, it's just running off the hotspot. I mean, yeah, you can't really ask for more. So yeah, that's really it for Spotify. Amazon Music is the same thing. I haven't downloaded any music yet, but I do have some albums on there that I'm gonna put onto the car. But yeah, no, it's super smooth. It sounds great. Sound quality, again, you know, I can't really give you an opinion based off the stock speakers with the new unit, but I can tell you that with the OEM Audio Plus Reference 500 system, it actually does sound better. And I can show you here that there's an actual, sorry, that's Bluetooth. I can show you here that there's an actual EQ that I have set. I like the lows and the mids to be up a little more. The OEM audio system comes with a sub, so I kind of just boosted the bass just to get more out of the sub. But yeah, no, it sounds great. There's no difference in quality. If anything, it's better. As for navigation, I use Google Maps and Waze. So again, running off the hotspot on my phone, I'll open up Google Maps. And again, just like any Android, when the app is open the first time, it takes a while to load. But then again, like if I were to go to the home screen, you know, and then click here, then you'll see that the app is open already. So like I'll just start closing these to clear the RAM, whatever. But let's say I click on the home screen and then click on Google Maps again, it boots up faster because it's already loaded. You know, so now if I were to just search my job, like my studio, shows me how to get there. It's pretty responsive. Again, I mean, it's not like your iPhone, but like there's like that slight little delay that you can see, you know, like just going, like moving it around. But it is like super like responsive. Like I'm barely touching the screen, like, you know, and yeah, it works fine. I think that's good. I'll open up Waze for you. Let me close that one real quick. Let's open up Waze. You know, again, Waze is the same thing. It takes a while to open up the first time, but all right, so there it goes. So now again, you know, we have Waze here. Just moving it around. You know, again, the same thing as the other one. It's fast. You know, I'll put in my office address again. I already have work there. I press go. Let's press go now.
Take Southwest 160th Street, Richmond West, and Southwest 137th Avenue Country Walk.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute you.
In 700 feet.
So I'm gonna mute it. Sound off. Okay. And yeah, that's Waze for you. So I'll close that one. The unit does come with its own GPS like adapter thing, and then there's like a two-sided tape on the other side of it. So I plugged it in and then just like taped it to the unit itself, and no problems with the GPS. Works flawlessly so far. So for, you know, another question that I had for these guys was just watching videos on here. You know, I wouldn't recommend doing that while driving, but again, you have the option. I have YouTube here. I'll open it up so you guys can check it out. You know, I have, you know, there's a bunch of, I had all these questions about watching videos, but you know, all the answers were yes, you can watch whatever you want, Netflix, YouTube, whatever, but there are some restrictions. YouTube works fine. Netflix does not. You're not allowed to watch videos. There's a restriction, but what I've been told is that you can download like the old version of Netflix onto there, and then, you know, you'll be able to use it fine. So YouTube loaded up fast, but maybe it's just a hotspot connection that's slow. Yeah, I mean, I only have one bar right now, but then if I were just to go here to my videos, I'll just bring up a video so we can watch it real quick. Let's just see, like, I don't know, let's just watch this, right? So loads up here. Yeah, I mean, it looks good, it looks sharp. I mean, it's not the best quality in the world, but again, you're just streaming. I think, like, I have Cricket Wireless, so I think like Cricket Wireless with the stream more, like, is only like 480p anyways. But now if I can do this and, you know, make it full screen. Let's do that. Come on. There we go. And then just check that out for a minute. Reviews, like countless reviews on all of these lenses. So it's not a review about the lenses, it's more of like why we have the lenses and why we chose to use them with the X-T3. And yeah, no, it works good. I have no complaints on that. I mean, the button's really small. But yeah, YouTube works, but again, Netflix, there's a restriction unless you download the old version and then don't update it. YouTube TV doesn't work. But I mean, at the end of the day, like, when are you going to use that? You know, it's like, it's a con, but it's a con that just didn't even exist on the old unit in the first place. So I'm not going to complain about that. Another thing that's kind of cool is that when you put into reverse, you know, the backup camera is connected to it. The only thing, like, I'll even show you right now. I'll just put the car in reverse real quick. The only thing is that, you know, you keep the same lines. There's options to add the lines. So when you turn the steering wheel, like, it goes like this, but then these are like burnt into the actual image. So from the camera, so these stay here. And then you'll just have more lines. I just have it turned off because I'm used to how this looks, and that's fine with me. The quality does look bad, but again, remember, you're upscaling the backup camera from the screen that was this big to now a screen that's this big, so it's gonna be pixelated. But again, I mean, like when you sit back and you look at it, it's not bad. If anything, it's nicer to have the bigger screen, because even on the smaller screen, like, it's still pixelated. Like, you know, you get me. But I'll get out of that. Back to there. You know, another cool thing is that when you put it into reverse, there's settings in the, like, the car settings, which I can show you like right now as I'm talking about it. But you know, there's things for like you know, when you put it into reverse, you can, oh wait, there's extra settings, so you could 1 2 3 4 5 6 they set as a standard password. So yeah, there's car settings for when you put it into reverse. You can even like have the audio turned down. So I have it when I go into reverse, the music shuts off. Like I saw that's like some newer cars have that. A buddy of mine just got a brand new Kia and his does that. I just think it helps you focus when you're reversing. But yeah, it's a function that I like, and it's something that you know, I'm making a big deal out of it, but it's really nothing. But it's just cool to have, you know. So a question that I had was Apple CarPlay. I've never had Apple CarPlay before. You know, that's what this app here is. It's called ZBox. That is how you get CarPlay with this. The unit, you can get this CarPlay dongle here. I'll show you on this camera too. So it's this, and you just plug your Apple cable into here. I'll plug it in, and then this just plugs directly into the USB from the system. You know, when the connections are back there and they're made properly, you can end up using like the actual factory USB output. I'm gonna try the Apple CarPlay. I had a little issue, but you know, again, as I was filming the video, I asked Savag from Facebook to help me. He says you go to your settings, you go to your car settings. In extra settings, you know, again, I'll put in the standard password 1 2 3 4 5 6. There was this thing here called Force USB 1.1. I have no clue what that means, but he said to turn it on. I turned it on, and then the CarPlay worked, but it wasn't working before that. It was very glitchy. So I'm gonna plug this into here, and I'm gonna plug my phone in, and let's see what happens. All right, so I'm gonna do this. I'll unlock it here. Let me look at it. I'll unlock it, plug it in, and that's, you know, I'm gonna do this with you guys. Let's see what happens here. So I have it plugged in. The charging logo hasn't showed up yet, so I'm just waiting on it. Let's see if something happens. I don't know if I should press the app. You know what, let me just try that. I'll press the app. It says not found. Everything's connected. Oh, there you go. The charging signal showed up. It says phone connecting. So I'm guessing right as you plug it in, you press the app, and then it sends that signal through to your phone. And yeah, there you go. Apple CarPlay. A little earlier it was glitchy, but let's try some functions. So let's open up. So right now everything's going through Google. Gonna be going through Apple CarPlay. I'll lock my phone. I changed the setting where I can lock it and use CarPlay at the same time. So let's just see Google Maps. Yeah, that works. Okay. And it functions just like Apple CarPlay. I like it. Let's do Spotify from here. Okay. So recently played. Let's try that. And it should be coming directly from the phone, so there shouldn't be any internet issues unless it's with the phone. All right, there you go. Can you hear me? So that plays fine. So I mean, yeah, like Spotify works good. I'm gonna try to send a message now. Let's try sending a message to my business partner real quick. Let's see what happens here.
Just a moment. Would you like to hear your unread messages or create a new one?
Create a new one. All right. Do I just press new message? Like, I don't know, let's try that. So the speed, like it's acting a little weird now, but I don't think it has anything to do with the device. I just think it's how my phone's working with the device.
Who do you want to send it to?
Jesse Cologne.
I don't see ice in your contacts. Who do you want to send it to?
Jesse Cologne.
What do you want to say?
Hey man, I'm actually filming a video right now, so if you can reply so I can show the audience how the CarPlay works, that would be great, period.
Your message to Jesse Cologne says, hey man, I'm actually still being a video right now, so if you can reply so I can show the audience how on the CarPlay works, I'll be great. Ready to send it?
Yeah.
Okay, it's sent.
Yeah, that took a lot longer than I expected. I think it might be safer just to text and drive than using this thing. But Apple CarPlay is cool. Maybe just my signal with my phone right now is not as fast as it should be. But yeah, I mean, we can open up Waze, check Waze out real quick and see if my buddy, replies. Oh, there we go. The reply showed up, so let's just click it. See what he said.
Jesse Cologne said, got it. Would you like to reply?
No. Alright, so yeah, he said got it. Okay, so Apple CarPlay does work. I think it's just acting a little slow because of my phone, but super cool, super nice, looks super clean. I can't really complain about that, you know. So let's see, how do we get out of this now? If I go like this, let me see, if I press clear memory, it might shut it off. There we go. So yeah, that's really it, guys. I mean, for $500, this is what you're getting. I think it's a great price. Dude, don't hesitate. You know, again though, there's like some issues, like it's from China. You know, I have a couple issues with like the quality control of the unit itself. Not the actual Android, but the build quality of this. You know, it's like a softer plastic. It's not as like, you know, thick and nice as the factory one, you know, because you are replacing this whole thing. If you look right here, it's hard to see here, but there's like the plastic cover right here and the plastic cover on this side. I mean, it's across the whole thing, but what I'm trying to say is like there's like a beveled, like a raised edge here, and there's like an indentation, and you can touch the screen here. But then on this side, you're just touching the screen at the corner of the indentation. But on this, the corner actually goes in, and then the screen's there. This side, there's really nothing there. A little hard to explain, but you get it. Inside, you know, the Android unit is here, the Android screen's here, then there's like a plastic screen here, kind of like a mirror or like a thick window. And there's like a couple of dust particles in between those two pieces, and like your hand touches here, and there's a couple of dust pieces in between that, and there's really no way to clean that unless you really take apart the whole thing. But again, when it's on and the screen's on, you can't even tell. I mean, like, I know where it is, but you know, if someone else gets in the car, they won't even be able to tell, you know. But yeah, that's really it. Feel free to subscribe. I do a lot of videos, you know, camera related, because I own a video production company with my business partner. So if you're ever interested in that stuff, like, feel free to check it out. But and I don't really post that much about the 4Runner, but this was something that I felt could use like a nice video on. You know, like, there's not really that much out there about this unit, and hopefully I covered everything. Again, like, if you have questions, I'm linking to Savag's Facebook profile there. He said I could do so. Feel free to hit him up, ask him some questions, send him a couple messages. He's super responsive, but again, you know, it's on his own time, so be respectful there. For the installation, again, check out that trail4runner.com article. Thank you again for that one. And I linked to the unit, to the head unit in the description also. So for the spec sheet and to buy it, it's there too. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, so the issue that I had was that their OEM Audio Reference 500 system connects, is a plug-and-play system that connects to the Entune factory head unit, right? So when you plug everything in, turn the car on, works flawlessly. Great sound, amazing, can't say anything less about that company. I replaced the head unit, plugged everything in exactly the same, and there was no sound. It didn't work. So I bypassed the system, just plugged directly into the speakers, let this head unit power the speakers, and so I texted Daniel from OEM Audio, super good guy. He called me. We went over a couple issues, troubleshooting, and then we just finally came to the decision that the signal cable or trigger cable or whatever you want to call it, the trigger cable, is not connected properly to this unit. So he let me know that I'll put pictures up here so you guys can see it as well. I just took pictures as we were doing it. He let me know that the blue and white cable is the trigger cable or the signal cable for the amp to turn on when the car's on. So he did his job. He let me know what had to be done there. I reached out to a guy, we call him Yang. It's a Chinese dude. He's the guy that is basically in charge of sending out these head units. It's like his company or whatever. And he reached out to the factory. The factory sent over a diagram, which I'll also put pictures of here, but the diagram's also on the head unit itself. Basically what you're looking for on the diagram is that you'll see it is the number 1 ACC cable, which is the accessory cable, which means that when you turn your car on, that cable sends the signal out to turn everything else on. Long story short, that's what it does, right? So what we ended up doing was just getting that blue and white cable, seeing where it comes in from so we have the connection from OEM Audio plugging into the head unit, right? And then let's say that that blue and white cable was my index finger. The cable on this end, which connects to it, was a blue cable that wasn't connected to anything. It just said amp control. So we were like, okay, that cable needs to connect to that red cable to get that signal. So what we did was just get like a pin, stuck it through the red cable. We tested it. We got the 12 volts. What we did was just get the blue cable and the red cable, stick a pin through it, turn the car on, check it. It worked great. So then we just did it the real way. Just tapped into it, soldered it, taped it up, whatever, and yeah, that's really it. So the issue was just getting the signal from the unit to the reference system. Hopefully the pictures helped. Feel free to comment if you guys need help about that. But other than that, again, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.